Welcome to Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi, the podcast that's like having a personal action-taking coach in your pocket, giving you bite-sized tips and small mindset shifts every week. I'm your host, Chrissi. I'm a network marketer turned action-taking coach for business owners who grew her businesses while holding down a successful career in aviation. I'm on a mission to help you fit your business into your everyday life because I believe you are capable of doing some pretty amazing things no matter how chaotic your life is. Consider me your no-nonsense business BFF, helping you learn how to get it all done quicker, easier, and with way less mental drama. Join me here on the podcast each week where we'll chat everything from systems to help you fit your business into real life, to business tips, plus time management hacks, mindset shifts to help you find the courage to take that next step in your business, and real life experts to inspire and empower you to go after your goals. Let's go, CEO. We have work to do. Grab your favorite cup of coffee or wine, no judgment here, and get ready to ditch those inner mean girl thoughts ringing in the back of your head so you can embrace your inner badass and go do the dang thing. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to the Do the Dang Thing podcast. Today, we are diving into the world of social media with an expert who truly puts the social back in social media, Gabriella from Social Traction Studios. Gabriella, it is so fantastic to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Gabriella and I met, I think, was it on Threads or was it on Instagram?
I think on Threads. I think it was like early days of Threads.
Well,
like a thread that's OG with me.
Yeah, I know, right? We've been friends ever since. Gabriella's come to a couple of my workshops and things like that. And I finally was like, why have I not had you on the podcast? You need to come tell us what we're doing wrong on social media so we can fix it. Gabriella, before we get into the nitty-gritty of social media strategies, could you share a little bit about your journey from education, so you used to be a teacher, right, to becoming a social media manager?
Yeah, so that is a really, really, really long story, but I did used to be an art teacher. I taught everything from, I've taught pre-K, I've taught elementary, I've taught high school, I've taught middle school. At some point in my life, I have taught it all, but I really just was finding it to be exhausting and draining and zero work-life balance at all. Literally all I ever did 24/7 was teaching. Summers were great. I had time off. So it really just was one of those things where there just is not a lot of support. Admin was a big issue. So yeah, I just kind of took a break, took a step back, looked at some potential other districts that didn't really pan out. I kind of got, I don't want to say stuck in the area that I was currently, but life happened and I had to stay put for a little bit. And there's not, out in rural Missouri, there is not a lot of need for art teachers. There's very few school districts, and a lot of school districts in that area only have one or two art teachers in their district, depending on the school size. So that was an issue. And then it was kind of like, what am I going to do with my life now if I'm not teaching? Like, I have to figure something out. I have to do something with my life. I have to, support myself somehow or another. Talked with a career coach that I luckily had through my college because I still lived in my college town, basically. Talked about all the different things. I knew I still wanted to, deal with people. I still wanted to help teach people. I still wanted to do something creative. We were like, okay, what about graphic design? I was like, yeah, I thought about majoring in it. I didn't, though. Now I wish I would have, because it would have come in handy, know a little bit more, but you live and you learn. But essentially, we basically stumbled across marketing, and then specifically got more into social media marketing. And I always say it's a rabbit hole that I fell down that I just never ended. I'm still falling down it. I just instantly fell in love with it and couldn't get enough of it. And here we are 2.5 years later.
I love it. I think it's so cool because I can totally tell, like, the art teacher, the teacher in you. You are always teaching on social media. Like, there's no gatekeeping, and all of your graphics are very much like bright and fun. Like what I remember elementary school being, like all the bright colors, all the graphics, all the visually appealing things.
Yeah.
A lot of glitter.
I feel like that's yes, a lot of glitter. I love glitter. It's really weird because I used to always say that like I could never pick my favorite color. Like I just never, and I would always say my favorite color is glitter because I just can't pick a favorite. I can't pick a favorite color. Now my favorite color is probably pink. I don't know. That one just kind of stumbled upon me like the last couple of years.
Well,
So
you're
I'm a pink girly now. Yeah,
you're in
and
good
since I
company.
know you're a pink girly too, so.
So on social media, you are always talking about community building, and I've noticed that probably over the last 6 months or so, especially with your content. Tell me more about how you made the transition into talking about community building and why this is something that many people are actually missing in their social media content.
So for me personally, I spent a while, as many social media managers, marketers do, really focusing on going viral and the vanity metrics of, likes and followers and shares, all of which are important to a degree. However, I was really noticing, focusing on that, I myself doing social media was getting burnt out, not just on my content, but, clients' content as well. And especially when threads rolled around, I was like, this is really good. Like, this is what social media like needs to feel like again. Like, I really like this. And that's kind of when it clicked and it was like, yeah, like I do like social media still. A lot of people do like social media still. Social media has just evolved to be a way where everyone and their mom wants to kind of hop on and get their, 5 seconds of fame, and they don't want to do the work of connecting with people. They just want to push out their content and hope that it, gets billions of views and likes. And it's like, that's not really how it works anymore. The algorithm is there to do its job. And it's there to serve itself and not really you necessarily. So that's kind of where building a community kind of bridges that gap where yeah, the algorithm can work in your favor sometimes, but relying on the algorithm is just not always as effective as we would like or hope that it would be. So going out there and finding those connections yourself, one, that you don't have to rely on the algorithm, and two, then you're actually making quality connections rather than just people that are viewing your reel once or twice and then they're not following, they're not staying engaged, they don't know anything about what you actually do because you just did some silly, goofy trend that was fun.
That's funny. Do you have a success story that you could share with us, either yourself or a client, where community engagement and really building that community was the thing that paid off for you or your client?
Yeah. So I would say just because I am still in the very beginning stages of rolling out my whole community builder program, I'm going to go ahead with mine because I've been doing this now for 3+ months now myself. And it, for one, I can say is very freeing to not like give two shits about your number of followers. Like even the other day, I went in and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in and remove followers myself. Like I'm gonna kick people out. I'm gonna unfollow people that are, random bots, random people that aren't active, just random accounts that it's like, why are you there? Other social media managers. I have social media manager friends that they're great, but if you're just there lurking, I don't need you. See ya. So it really, for one, is definitely freeing to like not care if my reel gets 200, 200 views. That's still 200 people, and the people that I need to see it, the people that are regularly engaged, I know they're seeing it, even if they're not commenting or even liking it. I've had several people within the past few weeks come up to me and be like, "Oh my gosh, I love your reels. I love this," and it's like that's odd because I've never seen you like or comment on any of my content ever before. But that is a common trend. A lot of people don't. They just scroll and scroll and they don't stop to like things. And I notice myself doing that too. So I've kind of noticed for me, it's a lot more of quality people that I'm connecting with than, just kind of going out and trying to do anything it takes to get followers that I am not following up with, that don't have a system in place where, I'm intentionally engaging with them, having conversations with them, not only with the intent to sell, because, we are business owners. That is, part of our job. That is something that we have to do, but also getting to know them, on a deeper level too, because I don't ever want people to feel like that I'm only there and only talking to them because I want the sale. So
Yeah.
there has to be a balance. But from that, I have found, getting a lot more warm leads, hot leads, and really just kind of getting more people in the pipeline quicker that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's such an interesting point that you bring up is that when we're on social media, go and like and comment and do like be social on social media.
Hmm.
But I get that all the time too. Like, oh, I love all your reels. I'm like, I've never seen you comment ever.
Yeah, it's like you just wouldn't know that people, you're like no one sees my stuff. And it's like, no, people are seeing your stuff. They're just not letting you know. Like that's why you're
Hmm.
getting, you're having, hundreds of people view your stuff, but you're not getting any likes. It's like, no, there's definitely people out there that they are silent followers and they very much are. Like I have several people that they're very much like, yeah, like we're working on stuff, but like this summer we're gonna work with you. Have they ever liked a single one of my posts or view my stories regularly ever? No.
Nope.
They'll lurk on my stories here or there. But a lot of the times the people that are like, I am going to work with you someday,
Yeah.
they're ghost followers.
And I think a lot of people really want the instant gratification of, oh, I got this many likes, I
Mm-hmm.
got this many followers, I got this and that. And sometimes those are not the metrics. Those are absolutely are not the metrics that you want to chase. The metrics
No.
you're trying to chase is income in your bank account,
Yes.
which comes from
Yes.
building those relationships, and they take time.
Yes.
They take a lot of
Yes.
time. I'm very curious to see, you said you've been doing this strategy for about 90 days now, about 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Typically, things like this take about 3 months to really come to fruition and for people to start to
Mm-hmm.
recognize you as someone that stands out from the crowd. So, like when I think of community building, I absolutely think of you now. And I know I'm like, you're in the top of my feed. So, I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious to see if some of those people that maybe are a little bit more buried in your feed that maybe have only seen it a couple of times now, over the next 30 to 60 days, if those people are going to start converting.
It's definitely, I can say that like the end of this month has been like crazy. Like this week specifically is like I am like slammed with, and like this is my second podcast guesting recording that I'm doing of the day. It's just all these crazy things are just all of a sudden just like magically falling into place. It's like one of those things where people are like, oh, like, this person had overnight success. And it's like now I kind of feel like I'm having that, but it's like I haven't really because I've been putting in all this hard work for the past, 3 months, even with all my crazy life things happening on top of it. But it's like, I've pushed through and been doing all of that. And it's like, for the first 90 days, it's kind of like, okay, hopefully this works out. Hopefully this works out. Hopefully this works out. And it's like now all of a sudden, magically, everything is falling into place.
I wonder what kind of mindset shifts did you have to do to like stay the course at day 15, at day 30 when like the results weren't showing up?
I think part of it was knowing that I was trying to do a lot before. So I also used to post a lot more frequently, like feed posts. Like I was posting 5 times a week. Um, and I think just now that I post 3 times a week and I post on my stories very intentionally every day and have, kind of things set up where I can kind of quickly run through my routine without having to think too much about it. And really, I think the simplified aspect of it really just makes it easier than having to be like, what am I going to post? What am I going to say?
Kind of like a trust the process.
Yeah, like a trust the process, just like, okay, like after, a few days, you kind of start to see like, okay, things are, kind of starting to, it's like a slow build. Like you start to see a little bit of the fruition early on, but it's like, then it just kind of happens all of a sudden. It's like, holy crap, like what? What is happening? Like this all just out of nowhere. It's like, okay, my life is really crazy all of a sudden.
But
But
good
yeah, I
crazy, I
think it's
hope.
just but yeah, a very good crazy. It's just like one of those things where it's like almost like it magically happened, but obviously I know it's it's because I did all that hard work and I know.
Absolutely. Okay. So aside from community building, you also talk a ton about personal branding. So why should businesses or solopreneurs choose a personal brand over a more corporate looking brand or corporate feeling brand? And what are the advantages of being quote unquote less professional and more you?
Well, I think, again, a lot of people are seeing social media as fake. And it's just not as fun as it used to be. It's a lot of people trying to, just be seen, just be heard, when there's not really a lot of thought or effort or authenticity, coming from them. It's just kind of pushing stuff out there, hoping for the best. And I feel like a lot of people now are kind of realizing social media's changed. It's shifted a lot. Like, we used to be on, when Facebook was new, posting like, I think I came out when I was in like middle school, posting like crazy things, talking with your friends on social media all day. Where it's like now everyone is trying to do social media for like their business or for to be an influencer, this and that and the other, which is absolutely nothing wrong with. But I think that there's a way to kind of do that where you are still being social and making those connections and networking while also being social and happy. And also the benefit, at least for me, the biggest one, having a personal brand rather than just being like logo facing corporate, is that people that I am connecting with, I often connect and bond with them over like the silliest things. Like it could be like I posted yesterday about like, oh, like I had some leftover green onions and so I just threw them in a pot thing. They, grow new ones and so I have to buy green onion plants or whatever, having to go grow more. And I've had, like can people in my DMs be like, how did you do that? I'm like, girl, you literally just stick it in the dirt. Like literally anyone can do it. It's new. Like it's not hard. It's just like fun things like that where it's like, they also are interested in social media and they also are interested in community building, but we can connect on a deeper level, a more personal level than just surface level or
Absolutely.
business related things. And then in turn, if you're building that relationship, you're building that trust with them. When they come to the point where they're like, okay, yeah, like I seriously need help with social media, they're going to turn to someone that they already have a relationship with, someone that they already know. They're not going to go do a random Google search, social media manager near me, and, pick the first rank that comes up on their feed on Google. They're like, oh, I already know Gabriella. Oh, they're looking for a mindset coach. Oh, I already know Chrissi. Like that's just
100%.
top of mind, someone that already know and trust.
I was talking to someone earlier today that we really need that like personal connection in order.
Mm-hmm.
We need the posts about building an outdoor kitchen or planting green onions or about Archie your dog or BB my dog in order to connect with someone on a personal level to feel comfortable hiring them. And that's not true all the time. There's definitely like
Mm-hmm.
you can speed that process up by like from referrals and things like that. But a lot of the times it takes a lot of touches, and the only way to get those touches is by being a real human.
Yeah, and people are nosy too. Like I say it all the time. Like I don't really spend a lot of time personally like scrolling through my feed on Instagram. I want to see what people are doing like right now. I'm in stories. Like if I'm on social media, 9 times out of 10, I'm looking at people's stories because I'm nosy. I want to know what you're doing.
Recording podcasts. That's what I'm doing today.
I want to know, like, what are you doing right now? Like, what are you doing? I want to know more than, I like hearing, what's going on in your business and the great things that you offer, but I also like, it's just more fun to learn deeper about people than just the business.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you noticed that social media has started to evolve into like this more personal landscape. How do you stay ahead of the curve of like new trends coming out, and how can listeners do the same?
So I also, along with not caring about vanity metrics, I don't really chase trends so much anymore. And like I'll occasionally find a trend that I think is fun, like I did, like the oh I met my past self for coffee. That was a fun trend where it's like I normally anymore don't really tend to go with trends. I kind of just try to do evergreen stuff because I don't always keep up with the trends. But if there is a really fun trend like that where I'm like, okay, yeah, this legitimately fits in with my business and what I'm doing, it makes sense to do that. But a lot of the times I like to try and come up with my own content, my own ideas, that sort of thing. But there
Absolutely.
are, with being active on social media, you will naturally kind of see those trends. But also, you should spend more time creating content than consuming content. So
100%.
then you're not copying everyone else. Because
And that also,
if you're copying everyone, then you're not being your authentic self. You're just being someone else. You're
yeah.
copying what they're doing.
Totally. And so I notice that sometimes I will be like really grumpy about social media and I'll be like, no one's following, no, 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 and like be all up in my head. And I just check in with myself. How much content have I been consuming versus
Mm-hmm.
how much have I been creating? And 99% of the time, I've been consuming more content and comparing my content to everyone else's. And the
Mm-hmm.
solution is so simple: stop consuming, start creating.
Yeah.
So, Gabriella, do you notice any common pitfalls that business owners fall into when it comes to social media?
So I think there is this really common misconception that in order to be successful on social media, you have to post like 8 bajillion times a day. And that is not true. You don't even have to, like a lot of the social media gurus will be like, you have to post like three reels a day, every single day for the rest of your life. And you have to do, you have to engage for an hour every single day if you want to see any traction on your social media. I cannot even explain to you how much that irks me and how much I hate that they are spreading that information because it's like, sure, that's easy for you to say because you have like a whole marketing team that is doing everything for you. And that is not the case for most people. That's not the case for me. That's not the case or within the budget for most business owners unless you have a giant business. And in that case, you're probably either hiring your own whole marketing team or you're hiring an agency, which is not me. Like, I'm not for you if that was you. Um, but it really is not necessarily important how many times you post a week, so long as you're staying consistent. So really, even if you are only posting once a week, like if you can only commit to posting, one feed post a week, every single week, I would rather you do that than you try to be like, okay, like, yep, I'm going to try to do the 3 reels a day. I'm going to try to do 5 posts every single week for this month. And then by the end of it, you're like, I can't keep up with this. It's consuming too much of my time. I'm out. I hate social media. I don't want to do this. Then, then you're back to square one if you're not posting anything on social media. So it really is just better for you to find a schedule, when your followers are active, when it's best for you to post, to best create, schedule in advance once a week, and stick with that rather than trying to do too much. Or being on too many platforms too. I see that too, where people are like, "Oh, I need to be on Threads, I need to be on Instagram, I need to be on TikTok, I need to be on LinkedIn, I need to be." I was like, "Dude, no! Like, you can't do that." Like, even for like me and my clients, like, sure, I have metrical where I can, take and push it out into the world on all those places. And that's great. And those are extra views. But do I spend any time on TikTok or YouTube shorts or anything engaging or putting any other energy other than literally pushing content that I've already made to the world extra? No. I don't even have the YouTube app on my phone. Like I don't it's not, there's not time.
Totally. Yeah, knowing what your capacity is and how much time you have for each activity. And like social media is only one part of running a business. There are so many other parts. And I think
Yes.
sometimes people get really wrapped up in like, oh, I need to be on socials all day, every day, and available 24/7. Like, no, we do not need to be available 24/7.
No.
There's no such thing for me as a mindset or a do the dang thing community emergency. Like, I will
Mm-hmm.
get back to you in an appropriate amount of time, but it might not be
Mm-hmm.
instantaneous. And it's
At
probably
all.
not going to be on the weekend, and it might not be like late at night. And if I'm going to
Right.
take, I'm going to take time off for when I go on vacation, and I'll let you guys know ahead
Mm-hmm.
of time. But no place did I ever say I would be available 20.
Yes. Yeah, that's not healthy for anyone.
Absolutely not. So, as we wrap up, is there or do you have one mindset shift that you think is crucial for anyone looking to improve their social media game, get more consistent with their media game?
I think for me, and I've had this come up in conversation recently too, where it's like, oh, like I just am not comfortable showing my face on social media. Look, I don't like, my clothes, I don't like this, I don't like that. Whatever it is, they're just not comfortable. And that used to be me too, believe it or not. And then one day the thought just occurred to me, everybody already knows what I look like. So like, what does it matter? And if I'm already going to networking events, if I'm already hopping on Zooms with people, like it doesn't matter. Like, why should I care? Because, if someone else cares what I look like, that's it.
Yeah. And actually, I really like knowing what someone looks like before I hop on a Zoom with them. It's
Mm-hmm.
always a little shocking when I don't. I'm like, oh, that's what you look
Right?
like.
Right.
Okay, since this is the Do the Dang Thing podcast, we always leave the listeners with something that they can go out and do today. So, what is one actionable step that our listeners can take today to start improving their social media game?
I would say post on your stories. I would say make 2 posts on your stories, actually. Make one that's fun, something that you're doing either in your business, if you're going for a walk and enjoying the nice day outside, um, whatever it is you're doing, do something fun and personal. And then your second post, do something that is talking about your offer, your services, something where people can learn a little bit more about what you do. And just posting on your stories consistently like that every day, even if it's just a quick video of you talking, even if it's just a quick picture of your dog. It doesn't have to be stories. They come and they go. It's not permanently on your feed. You don't have to put as much thought or effort into them necessarily. And I feel like they're less pressure. So I feel like that's a good way to jump right in, say you posted, and cross it off the list.
I love that. Okay, I heard you have something really special for our listeners, the personal brand blueprint. Tell us about that and how it can help the listeners today.
Yes, so I have a personal brand blueprint. It is kind of a little tiny introduction into my community builder program. It really just helps you dive in deeper into who your dream people are, how you can serve them, their pain points, where you can position yourself to best serve them, and really just kind of helping you dive deeper into, everything that you and your personal
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Gabriella. Be sure to check out Gabriella's personal brand blueprint and follow her on Instagram for more insights. You can check out all of her links down in the show notes. And remember, if you're struggling with mindset shifts around social media, the Do the Dang Thing membership is here to support you through mindset shifts and help as you learn to do the dang thing. And I know Gabriella has so many great resources specifically for social media. So head to the show notes for a link to join us in Gabriella's program, in my program, or come find us on socials and see what we're all about. See our dogs, Archie and BB.
Yes, real CEOs.
Oh, yeah, they're totally in charge. BB even has a bed under my desk. So
Oh, same.
thanks for listening today and keep on doing the dang thing. Bye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi Sperduto. If you know someone that could benefit from today's chat, please send this episode their way and be sure to leave a rating and a review so more business owners can find the podcast and be inspired to take action on their goals. Also, I love to see what you're doing while you listen. Share what you're up to while you listen to today's episode and tag me in your stories at Chrissi Sperduto for a shout out. If you'd like to explore more resources like my free monthly coaching call and learn how we can work together through one-on-one coaching or the Do the Dang Thing membership, head to www.chrissisperduto.com. Please always remember that you are not alone in this adventure. I am always rooting for you, bestie. Until next time, keep on doing the dang thing. Bye.